Where?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another No Bullshit Live. We're here on No BS 2. Joined by my buddies Sean and Pop TV, hosted by Ezra. We're going to be talking about the Ding Dong, the Memo is released. That's the video title today. We're talking about the Memo. Of course, news going around a lot about that. Ben Shapiro just did a big video stream about it that Pop is going to tell us about. Sean's got a couple other stories, and we're going to jump around from there. I'm reading the chat. I see Tiger and M. Prosser are already commenting away in there. Good to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching. 7 people, 7 likes. That means you guys are keeping on top of that like part. I like that. I like what I see there. Pun intended. Let's go ahead and get started. So the Memo. Memo Day is the new hashtag going around on Twitter. I actually have a new Twitter. We'll get to that later. But what do you guys think? First thoughts. Memo coming out today. I didn't know a whole lot about the actual details. I've read it up on it this morning. But yeah, now that it's out and people were hyped about this, they were talking about whether or not it was going to get released. Now we got a Friday release. What are your thoughts?
It's pretty crazy, actually. It shows a lot of what they gathered for the FISA shit comes from that whole piss tape thing. Mm-hmm. Remember that ill-gotten document that BuzzFeed did without sources?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where he peed on a bed or something, or watched someone pee on a bed. Because
that's where Barack Obama stayed or some bullshit like that. Yeah. But yeah, so it comes out that was the main source for the Steele dossier that ended up getting Flynn and Mueller and all those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It got people fired. I know there's McCabe that was retiring or resigning maybe a day or two ago because of things related to that. Sean, what were you thinking?
Yeah, it's today. Today is a new holiday. It's called Memorial Day.
Love it.
Got that out of the way.
And that was bad.
You're welcome. And yeah, the memo as it stands now looks pretty bad. The Fusion GPS dossier appears to be the entire basis for surveilling Carter Page, and for the FBI to use a political oppo research fund document to secure a FISA warrant is super shady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Hillary paid for it.
Yeah, well, we have to wait for the Democrats' response and all that, because they'll say, oh, there's missing stuff or whatever. But it looks like it says it in plain English that the main component of the FISA warrants, and thus the Trump investigation, is the freaking the Fusion GPS dossier, and that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a whole shady operation. The way it all went down, there's the guy who makes the fake story that instigates an investigation, and then the investigation is what was used to go after information about Trump in the election. There's some people saying there's the angle of this coming from the Obama administration in some way. This kind of collusion between Clinton and Obama, perhaps. There's a lot of speculation on that, and I'll get more of the details. But yeah, it just seems like the Russia collusion was bunk. The Russia collusion was the diversion to block this actual possible, probably collusion.
Oh yeah, and it's not the first time they've talked about Hillary colluding with the Russians. The whole, you were there for what Coach Red Pill was saying this morning. No bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole Uranium One thing.
Yeah, Uranium One was basically them taking money from Russia to give them stuff for weapons. Essentially, uranium is not just stuff for weapons, though. That's high grade nuclear bombs and shit.
Yeah, that's the basic parameters of that is Bill Clinton was paid to do a speech by somebody who's trying to sell uranium to the Russians, and then the State Department approved it. Pop, are you doing a contest of how much noise you could possibly make?
No, sorry, my house phone is super fucking loud.
Why are you walking around and everything?
Because I got to get ready for work.
Okay. You're he's two-timing us. He's multitasking.
Just hit mute when you're not talking, because it's
you can do it though. Yeah. I think the sound's the worst part. It's cool to have you moving around. It's we have someone in the field, but our man in the field is just in a house that kind of has a nice wood ceiling. I was noting this earlier. It's good interior decorator on that household.
It was my grandmother that did it.
Nice, well done.
She did everything.
Your grandmother was a lumberjack?
No, she designed it all. She's got, she's kind of crazy.
That's legit.
Right.
That's legit. Let's not focus on the backgrounds because I know my background looks like a studio, like shady, cables everywhere mess. We have to get something more professional. That's what I've been trying to do is to up the value of this show. But that's besides the point. Back to the memo. Back to the details.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually check Twitter and go on some things about that. So if you guys want to tweet at me anything or just tag something, I'm going to look at the memo hashtag. But Sean, you sound like you're about to say something else.
Yeah, so the Uranium One thing was basically like the Clintons were paid, Bill Clinton was paid money to give a speech, and then the State Department approved the sale of uranium to a Russian like front company or company in Russia, and like that's like the Uranium One scandal, and like that's obvious like pay to play corruption. Like it's not a coincidence that they paid Bill Clinton like triple, or I think it was double his speaking fee for that particular speech, and then they hired him a few times before that deal went through. But the dossier now is what you call it. It seems like that like ridiculous dossier that BuzzFeed printed because they don't have journalistic ethics is really the crux of the entire Russia investigation. Which, I mean, they could have used that bad information maybe, and then theoretically found something that isn't like worthless information. So like there's still a chance. Like I'm not saying like Russia is 100% a conspiracy, but I've never believed in the Russia investigation, and this like brings it up to like 99% chance that this Russia investigation is going to show nothing.
Yeah, and it's also eye-opening. You know, it's kind of like we're getting a little hindsight here about what was going on before, because like when we heard about that dossier initially it's like, you know, that story came out on BuzzFeed, everyone thought it was ridiculous and it was just like insane. Pop is cooking, so I'm going to go ahead and talk while you watch Pop cook. Basically looks like he's breading some sort of chicken breast there with some nice herbs, oregano leaves, delicious. Watch that food while you hear me talk about this an interesting memo. I swear to God, it's interesting. No, okay. So the Russia thing. Okay, so everyone, or at least people I knew, it was like, okay, that story came out with Trump watching someone pee on Obama's bed. It sounded insane. This dossier, no one was buying it. But now that we have this kind of context, and the stuff that Sean was just saying was brought up, it's like, okay, now it's like it makes more sense that, okay, he's going to throw that on the grill and he's going to go ahead and go across the kitchen. Make sure he washes his hands because there is salmonella. We got to make sure we have a health code here on the No Bullshit Live show. But back to the memo, back to Russia. See, it's like we're wondering why the fuck would this stupid ass story come out? And then now it's like, okay, they wanted this absurd thing so it could trigger this investigation, and then people could point at it and say, hey, there's an investigation. Don't flip that yet, Pop. It looks like it still needs another minute. But the investigation it's still bunk. It's still stupid. But the other part I'm interested in, I'm looking at the gist of it. I have a couple articles, and I'm going to go to Twitter again a little bit later. But I'm looking at it. Okay, it says it talks about the FISA, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, and that's how they got to investigate Trump. And they were investigating Trump, I believe, like from that moment on, like before the election, or maybe this is like after the election. It says during the 2016 campaign. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was before. It says during the 2016 campaign. So there's a likelihood here we don't know about, but there's some sort of like, I don't know, they're cheating. They're trying to watch Trump and catch his moves or see what his political campaign is going to be. I don't know. That might be just speculation, tinfoil hat shit. But I think it's interesting.
Right, and there's also like another component to it that they did in the 2016 election, and the guy who put together the dossier, Christopher Steele, he admitted to the FBI that he did not want Trump to be president. And he admitted that he hated Trump, and the FBI would write down like his bias against Trump, and they wouldn't present that information to the FISA court. Like they just presented information from the dossier. They didn't say it was opposition research funded.
Also, his girlfriend.
No, I think Steele, that was a different thing. The girlfriend is the stroke thing. The FBI, yeah. But
they're also similar.
Yeah, so the FBI was like omitting information from the FISA court, since you have to renew FISA court warrants every 90 days. So yeah, it looks like they were trying to like hurt Trump with political information
Mm-hmm.
And like that's a terrible thing to do at the FBI.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just more proof that the FBI was co-opted by the Democrats. You know, it's like, Trump hired, or sorry, Obama previously in 2013 appointed Comey, and it's been a mess since then. It's been just nonstop, just corruption, bullshit. This stuff we're talking about is just proves that the Democrats or Obama, whoever wants to make a move. There's a dog there. That's a nice tall puppy there. Great coat of hair. Good looking pup. Yeah, so they could just take the FBI, and then this guy you mentioned the guy. I don't have his name in front of me, but he was an FBI guy, and he said he hated Trump, and he's doing all this stuff. So it's like essentially hiring a freaking agent to I don't know. It's like corrupting the election process. It's impeding on it's impeding on our freedom and like our votes and like who we're trying to pick. They're doing these illegal things, and that's why I say I know it's a cliche to compare things to Watergate. Everything's Watergate nowadays, but how can you not deny this? Like that's what Nixon was doing, was like spying on his competition, and this is like the same shit.
Yeah, the reason we can't compare anything to Watergate is because the president did resign over Watergate, and because Fox News is like, this is 1,000 times bigger than Watergate.
Is that what they're saying? Are they saying
literally?
That today?
There's a video where you cut from like Sean Hannity, and he's like, it's 10 times what Watergate is. And then the next guy is like, it's 100 times what Watergate is. And it's like so cartoony over at Fox. Like,
that's hilarious.
It's almost like they're trying to sell something.
Yeah, I saw some people. I didn't see Fox yet, but I saw some posts like that on Twitter and stuff. Let me just shout out to the chat though, because I see Misty Spillers is in the house. She's a longtime fan. Thanks so much for joining us. Saying "drain the swamp" means so much more now. That's true. Shout out to Turtle Dude, also in the chat. He says, "Are turtles in the swamp?" I don't believe so. I believe turtles
snapping turtles
or in shade. So I think you're going to be good, buddy. I'm not a botanist though. But yeah, dude, I don't know about that much hype about 100 times better than Watergate, but like I bring it up, and I swear I didn't read or didn't hear what you said specifically. I just saw a few tweets, but in my mind, on my own, I was like, yeah, this is similar to Watergate. This is like one of the times where it's fair. I think it's fair to use the Watergate analogy. Again, I know it's used for every scandal. It's like any scandal at all, but this is like something where it's a candidate trying to tamper with another candidate by using government resources. The big difference is, you mentioned this too. That's a cool dog. What's your dog's name?
His name is Eclipse, and he is a Great Dane.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Dumbest dog I've ever had.
No bullshit. Loves the dogs. We're a pro dogs show here. Cats suck. Cats suck.
Yeah, he ate a dish towel. He's not the smartest.
The biggest thing with the Watergate, the biggest difference between Watergate is that Nixon won after he did all this stuff. So
that's
he
where I was going.
Office.
Yeah, that's where I was going. I was distracted by that dog, but yeah, that's totally where I was going.
Like if Nixon lost, and then the next president would have found out about it, then that's what's happening now. It seems like.
That's the thing. Okay, that's why it's tricky too. Okay, I was gonna get to that, and then this part, it's like, okay, so since there is a switch there where the people that were cheating still lost the election, which is
amazing.
Which is funny there. That's a funny note. It's like even with the cheating and all the bullshit they try to pull with the polls and the media, they still lost. So that's embarrassing, and it puts them in this position where they cheated, but they lost. So no one's going to resign. No one's going to get pulled out of office necessarily. Maybe there will be some, like, people are talking about maybe lawsuits against them or some kind of criminal charges. I doubt it. It's possible, but I don't think it's even necessary at this point. This is actually something I wanted to bring up earlier. Pop mentioned we were watching the Morning Kumite Tonka saw this morning, and they were talking about the allegations and the charges and if someone will actually get arrested, but I don't think that's necessarily even necessary. That's too much necessaries, but you know what I mean. This is I think you know what I mean. This is not, we don't need people to go to jail. We just need people to know about this bullshit and know about this corruption and like get it all exposed and aired out, and in that way we're draining the swamp, which is like what Misty said. And a shout out to Agnes too, said this is worse than Watergate. I think I could see where you'd think that it's just it's different than Watergate. I think the reason Watergate overall looked worse and was a worse situation was because there was a sitting president that had to resign. So without that part, it's like maybe the corruption and the cheating is worse, but it's not going to be as big a scandal. Thoughts?
Right, and we need more information for it to reach the level of Watergate. Like we need to have like more solid information, because the Democrats are going to put out their defense memo, the FBI is going to put out their thing, and like remember McCabe, who was like involved in this, the FBI like assistant director that had to step down recently, like he wasn't fired or anything. He just took a vacation until he could retire.
Fuck off.
What is that?
Is Pop like getting a call or something?
Oh my god.
No, it's my stupid video playing in the background.
You're gonna get kicked, Pop. I swear to God, I'll kick you off this fucking show.
That's fine. If I break the rules, kick me. I'm cool with that.
No, I'm playing. But what were you saying, Sean?
Yeah, it's what you call it. Like it needs some more steps for it to be Watergate, because like we need to see what the underlying information is. Also, there's like that conspiracy theory that the lawyers, you remember that whole thing with Don Jr. meeting with Russian lawyers?
Yeah.
Apparently those lawyers were associated with Fusion GPS, and there was a conspiracy theory that was almost like a sting operation to trick him into trying to collude with Russia. And this actually it doesn't prove that, but it lends more credence to that conspiracy theory. So we do need more information.
Yeah, we need the evidence and the proof. This is just kind of like an eye-opener situation. It's just a memo, too, so it's not like, again, trying to compare it to that one case. Watergate had, I think there was, tapes, and there's, the guys getting caught in the rooms and stuff. There's, physical evidence and shit like that, shit like that. That's important stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Nixon, people, the expression, it's the cover up, not the crime that gets you. That comes from Watergate, because Richard Nixon destroyed evidence of the break-in at the Watergate Hotel. Yeah. The FBI just when Congress tried to request this, they were just stonewalling them with bureaucratic red tape. They weren't destroying any evidence. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's not really Watergate.
I thought there was a bunch of texts that mysteriously went missing or some bullshit.
Yeah, there's a backup log for text messages that are gone, and people say that it's from a key thing. But that was reported that it was just the two agents that we don't have text messages for. But apparently it's the whole FBI we don't have messages for that time. So I don't know if that's destruction of evidence or poor government management, because the government's incompetent and sucks at everything.
Yeah, it's possible though, and it looks bad because I heard about that part too, where they said they deleted some of the personal messages too, because I guess they had their work phones on the weekend and they're messaging each other and they're trying to exclude those. So it sounds like a lot of wiggling and a lot of trying to get out of stuff, which again is not as it's. I think there's a difference here though. What I would say is it could be seen as bad or worse than some of the stuff that happened in Watergate. But the problem is we're not going to have tangible things to grab a hold of. We're talking about these emails and texts, and it's just so easy to sneak stuff and hide them that it's not as bad as I'm not sure what the smoking gun. The smoking gun was from Watergate too, I believe. I'm not sure what the smoking gun was specifically. I'm going to have to look back at that. But maybe that'll come out later too. Maybe the memo is kind of the first step. We're still waiting to see though, I guess.
Well, the smoking gun is an old TV trope. You literally see the guy standing over somebody with the smoking gun to prove that they shot him. Which is funny because it's a TV trope, because they're holding the smoking gun, but the whole story in that episode or movie is usually how they're not guilty. But we still consider the smoking gun as a sign of guilt. But it's the destruction of evidence that was the key factor in Watergate. So Hillary Clinton destroyed her emails and all that, but that was to save her own ass. So it's different. It's not the same. We need to see more information. We can't just call everything Watergate, which is what people want to do, because people love fucking hyperbole. But it's pretty bad, and it definitely benefits the president, because he's been saying all along that he's innocent in Russia, and the Democrats have been fighting for it. And if it turns out that this is something cooked up by the Democratic Party, then that's great for Trump.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's what's proving. You know, he won the election despite all this, like we were saying, and then now the truth has been coming out on a lot of different issues. A lot of other people are looking bad, and every time it's like it just Trump comes out on top. And I think the main thing is he's just clean. He's like squeaky clean. Like they try to find dirt on him and they try to get him, but he's got nothing. I mean, the worst they could do is kind of that when they made up that Access Hollywood tape, or I mean, didn't make it up. I mean, it was a real tape, but when they made up that story and tried to make it seem like he's sexist, or there's other situations where they twist stuff and say like he's racist, but all in all, it's like they can't find dirt on the guy, and
the main point with that Access Hollywood tape was they totally ignored the fact that he said and they let you.
Right. I mean, it was, you know, there's the context, you know, that he's behind the scenes. He's talking to a buddy, he's shooting the shit. There's also the fact that it's just talk and it's consensual things they're talking about. Like he's not talking about doing crimes. Like there's no crime or like bad thing. Just if you got, it's just like that you have to be like really uptight and get that whole like, oh, I think it's wrong when men hit on girls kind of vibe. Like the people that think that you know catcalling is rape or whatever. Like the people that go that far are the ones that'll take that and try to twist it.
Yeah. Well, what about that Formula One thing going on right now? That's another example of stupid shit.
Oh yeah. Did you heard about that, No BS?
Which one?
The Formula One thing.
Oh yeah, I've heard about it. I haven't dug into it yet, but what were you saying, Pop? Do you want to tell us?
Basically, so they kind of started out sort of like cheerleaders, you know, like scantily clad chicks there to entertain and show off brands, but they've turned into like a staple. They share what brands the driver's sponsored by. They actually do things around the course, and now Formula One is banning it to be more progressive, and these chicks are pissed. Like the actual girls are like, what the fuck is feminism doing? It's taking away our job. You're not empowering shit.
Yeah, that's so uptight and messed up, man. They're taking people's jobs because they're mad because they're beautiful and they like to wear sexy clothes and make money.
And it's like, it's Formula One. It's a pretty fucked up, dangerous sport. You crash once and you're dead.
Seriously. It reminds me Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and it's not like one of the things that the models have been like tweeting out is that they're not really that scantily cladly like dressed. Like sometimes they'll dress like office but attractive. Like if they're doing a promo for like a bank or whatever, like they're there. And then some of the girls, or one of the girls, actually became a Formula One driver for the team that she used to model for. But like they all got fired because of feminism. And you see like feminists on the internet blaming the owner of Formula One. Like I saw Lacey Green put out a tweet and she's like, I can't see where people are reading into this that it's feminism's fault. Like they were fired by a man. And it's like, oh my God. You're like willfully fucking blind. Like, because they release in the statement, like literally they basically say it's current year and we don't want to do this. And you know they've been getting hate for doing this. Like, that's why they got fired.
Yeah, dude, that's messed up. It's like they act like they're, I don't know what the girls are getting objectified and they're getting pimped out or something. I mean, I can see where they're going with it, but I disagree like wholeheartedly. Like these aren't strippers. Like these aren't even the worst kind of job like for that sort of category. It's just one of those things that it reminds me is where these feminist cliques, they go after the popular group or like the big targets, you know, like they want to take down Marvel comic books because it's the most popular, so they invade and they're like turning all their characters into females and
that's not working anymore.
Yeah, transsexuals or whatever they want to make them this week. And then with this one, you know, they see these popular Formula One stuff. Formula One's super popular in Europe, like even more so. I know there's fans here too. But they just go after that, and it's bad for everyone that's really involved. Like I bet you those people that are complaining have never watched Formula One.
Formula One's dope to watch.
And the funny thing is that they're the same people who would say that being a stripper is empowering, right? But like you read these articles and they're like, oh, well, just because 2,000 women lost their jobs or whatever, right? They're like, it's still good for women to not be seen at Formula One because women reasons.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's super low brow virtue signaling, trying to tell people that stuff. Because all I've seen from those girls too is none of them felt that way. They're all mad they lost their jobs, of course. And I've seen a couple other funny bits about it where they compare the Formula One getting banned and the SJWs going after that, but at the same time they're supporting hijabs and they're supporting like the Muslims' right to cover up and wear burqas and crap. So it's like, which one of those do you think is empowering? Like, what's empowering? Are women empowering themselves by dressing sexy and trying to look great and make money, or is it covering up like they're freaking vampires that get burned in the sun?
Oh,
Right,
you know what they want them to cover up with.
And it's not just that, by the way. It's like they'll show like women from the Women's March that they're wearing nothing, or they'll show like a pride parade where like women will wear nothing in the middle of the street, and they'll be like, that's empowering. But like a woman dressing in like a pencil skirt, how they would dress if they worked at a bank. Whoa, like pull that back.
The difference is the other girls are attractive and the feminists aren't.
Yeah, no, that's the truth, man. I mean, that's something I see all the time. Like, you know, I think about a lot when I look around on YouTube too, or like just in general. It's like, who do you know when you see these SJWs, feminists on the news in these slut walks? They're disgusting. They're like big. They're like gross. Their hair is short and blue colored, and piercings and gross tattoos, all that stuff. And
Amber Rose is one of the grossest individuals I've ever seen. And so is her boyfriend, 21 Savage.
mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is, thank God.
He's a rapper, and Amber Rose dated Kanye West and then ended up dropping some hot tweets that Kanye likes it in the pooper.
That's a good tidbit.
But anyway, yeah, like it's crazy because they're supposed to empower women, and they just empowered their ass into the unemployment line.
Seriously, it's so messed up, and it just shows their self-proclaimed goals are not like their real goals. Like they're saying they want to do these things like for women, feminism. I mean, maybe some of their other ones are more accurate, but this case, it's like what they're saying does not match up with what happened at all, and that was their intended outcome, I believe.
Because ironically, modern day feminism is not about empowering women; it's really about controlling them, which is hilarious because the supposed patriarchy controls them. Mm-hmm. But it's really the only people I can see besides Muslims that are making decisions for women are modern day intersectional feminists.
Yeah, and there's another angle to it too. I thought of is the modern feminists. It's not about equality or like empowering women. Those are like the two staple goals. I guess in empowering women in a way because they want to depower men. You know, like they want to go after these other groups and bring them down because there's no fight for equality really anymore. Like the rights are equal, laws are good, and there's discrimination stuff out there, rules if you do run into it. So they don't need to go for equality anymore. They need to go further, and the way they do that is by tearing down men usually.
Right.
Yeah,
well, it's that Marxist framework. If you believe that there's a class struggle and men and women are classes of people, then destroying men is the same. It's literally one and the same as helping women, because in their opinion, helping women is at the direct expense of men. It's like it's the basic. It's cultural Marxism is what
Marxism
it is.
Like cancer,
obviously. Speaking of Marxism. Do you want to talk about the SJW K through 12 education in Minnesota?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great segue. Let's do it.
I'm just gonna chill on my chicken and listen.
All right. So there's a school district in Minnesota that has recently decided to introduce SJW courses to their K through 12 students, and like this goes to like the bare beginnings of education. Like they teach kindergartners about their white privilege and how white people are oppressive. When they do the alphabet, where they give you like letters in the alphabet. Every letter corresponds with like an SJW word. Like A will be for activist. T
Oh my
will be for
God.
transgender. So like you're learning the alphabet while you're also learning basically cultural Marxist ideas. And the whole point of it, the whole point of it was to improve the test scores and the reading scores of minority students. And the only thing that is improved, according to the article, is
Suicide rates?
no, there's a marginal uptick in the reading rate for minority students. Like overall, there's a little bit of an uptick, like 0.2%, so within the margin of error. But when you get like further along, everything else is down significantly, including high school math scores. Minority students used to be 31% proficient in math in high school in 10th grade. Now they're 14%.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And by the way, this was the #1 school district in Minnesota that instituted this. So they're dropping like crazy, and like this should be obvious to anybody, because if you're seeing somebody struggle in math, you should help them with math, not tell them that the reason that they're struggling in math is because white people.
No, it's like it's just giving people excuses and no solutions.
That hurts my head with how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah, it's messed up. That's some messed up, straight up Marxist indoctrination stuff. It's like I was saying at some point, it was, the schools are getting are already totally corrupt. But I think what this shows is, and my initial thought is, okay, the colleges have been like this for years, and universities, it's pretty much accepted. They're all run by liberals, employed by liberals, with the professors pushing feminism, gender studies, women's studies, all that crap. And
I'm not
coming
looking
up
forward to going off to university. That's gonna be interesting.
Black cultural appropriation degrees. But now with this story Sean just brought up, and it's going all the way down to kindergarten.
Yeah, like kindergartners are.
Betsy DeVos steps in.
Well, education is a local issue, which is why when the left was going crazy about Betsy DeVos, it was really ridiculous, because it's mostly controlled by local governments. This is one specific school district that was the top school district in the state of Minnesota, public school district, and now it's just crashing and burning. And it's happened over the course of like 4 years. Like they were like in 2013 they were the top, like they were in the top in Minnesota. Now in 2017, high school math scores for African Americans cut in half. Like that's so
crazy. It's
so
crazy
absurd.
That it's in Minnesota, because it's like, you could expect it in some of these other states. Like if this sounds like a California state story, and Minnesota, I don't know. I didn't take it for being this left wing, but at the same time, it is pretty close to Canada. So it's like culturally, they have this tendency for socialism up there.
Yeah, well, right. California's gnarly. I remember when BLM first started, I was still in high school, and people were plastering the signs all over the place.
Yeah, but
I got in a bit of trouble for getting rid of them.
Some of that's virtue signaling, and I'm glad you brought that up, because B is for Black Lives Matter, and I'm not joking about that. Like the kids have to write letters on like how you can support Black Lives Matter. They have to make signs from. You're literally training them to be activists. And like in college, it's one thing, right? And we've seen the results of that, and it's pretty shitty. But like most people in college, like learn stuff in their life, and like in college, they go along to get along. Like you remember that cis scum girl? Like she came out as normal because like she got out of college, she got out of that crazy space, and she became normal.
It's like college students are adults. It's like they're almost adults, so you can kind of like it's more forgivable since they're potentially usually past 18. But that's still a very you could be very impressionable at that time still, of course. But we're talking about pre-18. We're talking about like children. Yeah. Like, that's no joke. 100% impressionable. That's stuff that like if you teach them stuff, it's gonna stick with them their whole lives. Like that's like religious indoctrination.
Well, they're just scared, and my generation's coming up the most conservative generation in like 50 years.
I believe it. Yeah, they're coming back.
And they're literally saying that they want kids to graduate with the ability to dissect things from a Marxist perspective. So like they are trying to train the kids like when they're young and dumb, because like honestly, like that's when all this social justice stuff makes sense. Like when the dumber you are, the more likely you're going to be an SJW. And if you're smart,
Don King.
yeah, well, oh my god, but yeah, he's such an SJW. He's transracial. Like he hates being white so much that he's black. That he decided to try and be black. But
I can't believe the BLM though. That BLM is like, I mean, it makes sense as the letter B, but we're talking about this thing. You're talking about this alphabet thing. It's like the second one is Black Lives Matter. That's just I feel like I wish that my kids will never have heard of that.
Right. Like
it's gonna be dead in like 10 years. They're just trying to prolong it. It's already kind of dead. Like we haven't heard from them in forever.
Black Lives Matter is already dead. Like it's not relevant anymore. Like
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I would say like mostly dead. I haven't heard anything from it in a real long time, besides maybe like a few mentions or something, but no like videos or anything. That's mostly dead, but it's still around, and people still might wear it on their Twitter profile or something like that.
Do you think we're gonna hear from them this month due to like Black Panther and it being Black History Month? I could totally see that.
You know what? That's actually a great point. I would be surprised if we didn't. It is Black History Month. Maybe we could segue into that a little bit. Talk about Black History Month. And I'm going to get to the chat again too. I'm going to shout out a few people, and we're going to bring a few people on towards the end. I'm going
to fuck with the chat.
Yeah, go ahead and jump in on the chat. I'm going to read a few. Improsser, I think Improsser and Young Prodigious. Young's been on the show before. We're going to bring those guys in. I'm going to send them a link in a few minutes. After we cover a couple things, and I'm going to read some comments. Also got Kasunagi saying maybe we should all wear a "There's only two genders" T-shirt. Yeah, we're gonna have to start. They're gonna probably start teaching the multiple genders at these schools too.
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah, the spectrum. It's on a spectrum.
Z is for suicide. Z is for Zer.
U.S. is out of the UN in 2018. They are pushing the curriculum. Possibly. I'm not a big fan of UN either myself, especially all the money we give them and the fact that they just shit on us all the time. But yeah,
we keep them afloat.
Chris says fat fag. I think he's talking about Pop. Improsser says I agree. Chris says fat fag once again. He must be really hateful towards Pop TV. I'm not sure why he started that beef with Chris. Do you have any comment on that, Pop?
I got it. I'll just I like eating. It's not my fault. Go fuck yourself, Chris. Jesus.
Yeah, Chris. Why you gotta bring the negative energy?
And Moses, thank you for the super chat. I mean, no bullshit. Should probably say thank you.
Yeah, dude. Actually, I just read it. I just realized it was a super chat. I'm sorry. I just realized that. Thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate that. I already read the comment. U.S. out of the UN in 2018. They're pushing the curriculum. I read it before, but you know what it was? Honestly, thanks for reminding me, because I was just like, we haven't got a super chat in a while, and this is like the first one in a couple shows. So I was just like, I didn't even think of it, and I'm like, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that donation. That's awesome, and we'll go ahead and expand on that topic too.
I do have a question about for him though, because his name is like Moses Nagin or something like that, and is that like supposed to be named after a Russian rifle? Because it sounds like a Russian rifle. It sounds like there's a Russian rifle that I remember with a similar name to that. So type your answer in the chat.
Yeah, let us know, Moses. We like that.
A Russian what?
We like that comment. Thanks again for the super chat. And I want to consider your topic more since I remembered that. So, U.S. out of the UN. Let's go ahead and pass around. I said a few things about the UN.
It is a Russian rifle. Just want to.
That's awesome.
Confirmed.
That's awesome. Great note there. Do you have any thoughts on the UN, guys?
I think we should. I don't think we should leave, but I think we should drive a much harder bargain. Be like, yeah, so we're kind of done carrying your guys' ass. You should pick up a bit of slack, or you can fuck right off.
I like that. I like that. I like the sound of that. And I agree too. It's not something you could just like leave right away. I wouldn't want to like abandon international diplomacy. But I think the other thing on the other side of that, if we're gonna stay in, like we should just start like, I don't know, just cleaning it up there. I feel like it's like a little fat cat. It's a little bit too much, all the people and all the money going into it. I don't want to take away a lot of people's jobs necessarily, but it just seems like a lot of bureaucracy. I'm not sure. Sean, what are your thoughts?
I would leave the UN. Obviously, you don't give up on international diplomacy, but like you don't need the UN to have international diplomacy. You would just meet with countries. The UN is basically like an organization to transfer money from the United States to other shittier countries and to pass resolutions that counter the United States. It's also like filled with Islamic countries that put up resolutions to attack Israel all the time. And it's really absurd when you look at like the human rights violation resolutions and you realize that like over like 60% are all against Israel, and it's like dead straight up human rights violators voting for them. Like fucking all the Islamic countries vote for them. They always violate human rights, and like African warlords vote for them. They're like fuck these people, but don't ever mess with us.
That's messed up. Yeah, it's messed up. It seems like it's more bad than good coming out of there. That's what I was saying. I like that you're taking the bold, totally pull out of UN approach. So that's strong, and I appreciate that. Another super chat from Moses, fucking high roller over here. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, "No negotiating with people who think they own you." Great point. Great point. I think we could add that in and get some more discussion. My other thoughts on the UN, though, just initially, it's not necessarily related, but I used to be a model UN kid. Like when I was in I guess it was high school. I think I did it before too. Definitely high school though. I did the model UN, and I remember like you go to those little meetings, and everyone like has a country. I can't even remember what country I am right now. Or I had. It was so long ago.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I was probably South Africa or something. I don't know. It was random, but I remember going to the one meeting. Okay, here's my model UN claim to fame. It was like the first time, and I wasn't really good at it because like the really good people that got a lot of points. I don't know how they scored it, but the goal was like to get these resolutions. You know, you had to write up these resolutions and stuff. And I wasn't like into it that hard. Like there's like I was like the really nerdy kids that actually knew. I was just more like talking to everyone, and I tried to like set up I was like the in between man. I was like talking to all these people, and they gave me like this honorable mention thing. I think it was like best. It was like an honorable mention award, like best communicator or something. I can't really recall the exact name, but I remember I was like really stoked on that. But did you guys ever do Mal UN?
No, I had friends.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't have.
Never did.
Yeah,
I was a bit of a bad kid in school. I didn't really participate much.
Yeah, I'm a loser. I'll take that. I'll take that hit. So he said no negotiating with people who think they own you. So I think that's a comment on some of the stuff Sean was mentioning a lot of on the UN, where they think it's like they think the US owes them something. It's like I think we've just been so nice and accommodating and protective of people so many years that they're ungrateful, and I think that's a lot of the reason that people should consider either pulling out partially, completely, cutting the funds. I think Obama might, or Trump, blasphemy. Trump might have talked about cutting the funding there, but I do agree like that idea. They're taking it for granted. This American dominance is taken for granted. I don't want to brag or like say we need people kissing our ass, but
No,
you're not gonna.
No, we do.
I'll take it if you want to kiss my ass as welcome, but it's not necessary. Yeah. But
like why should we give an organization money to release anti-American propaganda?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, that's the big point. It's like they're not just not grateful; they're reverse grateful. They're like freaking reverse not grateful is just being a dick and taking the handout as well. Just super messed up. A couple other chaps popped in. I saw. Cole Marshall. I saw MGTOW Warrior. Shout out to MGTOW Warrior. Thanks for joining. I missed your comment. If you come back. Oh, he says the U.S. should get out of the UN, in my opinion. That's MGTOW Warrior. Good thought there. Cole Marshall joining us says, hey, can you explain the memo at all? It just came in. He just came in. We can recap the memo again in a second. Actually, I think that's what we're going to do when we bring our guests in, because a couple people I'm going to message and add on to here at the end, and we'll see what they think about the memo here pretty soon. Chris says week live stream. No, it's not a week live stream. It's like a weekly live stream. We do it once a week.
Okay, so he's here to troll. All right, yeah.
It's here
He
once a week.
ignored that I told him to lick my taint, so he's a bitch.
You didn't realize when he told you to eat his ass that he's
No, I get that all the time.
He just caught on. He's like, oh,
I get that daily. My bad.
I thought that was a genuine recommendation, that ass eating.
Oh
Chris
God, I got a
says-
comment on my Destiny video.
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
maybe he wanted you to. Maybe he saw you making dinner and he wanted to take it to the next level.
I mean, you gotta buy me a drink first. I'm not cheap.
Yeah,
That's a
put
lie.
on. I like to give me some lipstick because I want to put some on because I like to look pretty before I get fucked.
I'm getting a Buffalo Bill impression. No BS. That's scary.
I got a real quick point. I don't want to get into the video or anything, but did you guys see YouTube promoting Francesca Ramsey?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Do you know
Did you
that-
tweet
that-
that? I think I saw. That's how I saw it.
That video still has like under 5,000 views last time I checked. And it's promoted by
so
the
weak, dude.
company YouTube.
Dude, I know.
Like-
And which one was it? The Mixed Babies one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was the recent one. I actually just saw a teardown of it. Atheism Unstoppable did a review of that video last night, and I was like, yes. The video's so dumb. I didn't even get to watch it yet because I reviewed a Franny video, but it was like a couple of weeks ago. It was a video from a couple weeks ago. This one just came out, and it's just super dumb. And YouTube's promoting it. They always promote the worst stuff. Usually it's go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the funniest part about the AIU video is that he was making fun of the graphics department, and at one point they were talking about interracial couples having kids, and because they're so progressive, they put a gay couple, and AIU's like, this is like progressive retardation on such a high level because you have to be inclusive, so you have to include gay people, but in reality, two dudes are not going to make an interracial child.
Yeah, no, I know for sure. And then we're bringing in a couple of guests. Shout out to Marcus just joining us. How you doing, buddy?
Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Oh, hey.
Welcome to the show. We're just talking about YouTube promoting Francesca Ramsey videos. Francesca's back. She's talking about Mixed Babies this time. Are you familiar with any of the MTV Decoded stuff?
Yeah, I've watched all the decoded videos of what you posted on YouTube, and yeah, a lot of the stuff she's been talking about is just outrageous.
Yeah, it's insane. The Mixed Baby one is off the charts, and then what was the one? I think there was another one in between that I didn't get to yet. The last one I covered was the hijab stuff. But let's pass it over to Pop. Pop, what do you think about the YouTube Mixed Babies?
Oh, it's fucking stupid. They shouldn't be promoting something that has a dislike ratio as high as Decoded does. It's garbage. It's always more in the red than anything else.
Yeah, that's a great side to it too. To note, it's like these videos. This isn't the first Decoded. They've been coming out for a while. They've been downvoted into oblivion so many times. Yet they're still getting pushed by the YouTube Twitter account. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's because they're just trying to be progressive. That's all it is. Even though everyone hates Francesca Ramsey, she's had 2 shows canceled by MTV, I think.
Yeah. I heard.
Well, no. She had the show canceled on Comedy Central. Larry Wilmore show, and she has that pilot that we're still all waiting on.
Oh no, they canned it.
Did they can it? Did they announce that? I didn't hear the follow up, but I never heard anything about it later.
Oh yeah,
but YouTube funds SJW creators all the time. I saw a Riley J. Dennis clip where RJ was talking about how to make videos, which I guess was supposed to be ironic or something. And in the video, apparently YouTube sent RJ money to make YouTube, they sent money so that for camera equipment and stuff. What the fuck? So YouTube, yeah, I swear to God, I'll link the video, and they sent $3,000 to $4,000, and I know the Young Turks got money from YouTube to make videos. They did a sponsorship for small creators, and it's all SJW creators.
I'm the smallest. I'll take it.
But Cat Black flies on Google's dime, to different places. Like she did a video where she ended it where she's like, I haven't paid for a flight in years. So like it's all SJW creators.
Yeah, I know. It's super messed up. Like I saw that too. I mean, it's not like messed up like evil or that bad. It's just they support the dumbest, worst creators. Like no one watches that crap. Like Cat Black has been like around 100,000 subs just forever. And I mean, that's nothing to shake your head at. Like she still has, you know, popular videos, but the fact that it's mostly just because she gets propped up, you know.
And when she tried to sue Sargon, that was pretty big, but that went literally nowhere.
Marcus taking a picture. Welcome to your first live stream, man. What do you think about
Cat Black didn't sue Sargon. That's Aquila, obviously. I know Aquila obviously looks like a tranny, but
oh god, that came off way more racist than I thought. Ooh.
I know she looks transgender, but Aquila obviously is actually a woman.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I would agree on that. I would be in doubt too.
Thank you, Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus, appreciate that. I was going to ask you, what other channels do you watch on YouTube?
There really isn't much that I really watch anymore. I have a lot of subscriptions, but there's only like a handful of people that I really watch. I mean,
cool.
Of course, I watch you.
I can recommend a great small channel. His name is Pop TV. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah, and if you want to watch
I'll look into it.
And if you want to watch a good channel, there's this guy, youtube.com/actual justice warrior.
Fuck off, Sean.
Yeah, I've seen his account in the chat every now and again.
He's kind of retarded. It's okay.
He follows me around in the chat a lot. Like usually if I'm on a live stream, you'll see him in the chat.
Okay. And I have a question for all of you, because I've heard it's not the first time I've heard any of you say this. So if I have nothing to say or if there's any noise in the background, do you want me to mute my mic?
Yeah, that's fine if you want to. There's a mute button. It's no big deal. Just especially because Pop was doing like loud stuff or someone else is talking and I want to hear it. But besides that, either way is fine. I think we have a couple other callers. I messaged Young again. I try to get see if you want to come back on the show. But that was a cool question. But let me ask you again, Marcus, before we wrap things up and stuff. Do you have any other questions, like for the group or for me, or stuff about the videos?
I posted this question in the chat, and I figure I might get it from the live itself. That GOP train accident. You know about it?
Oh yeah. That was I mean, I shouldn't be happy about that. That was a tragic.
It was tragic, because the driver of the garbage truck is dead. But but do you really think that this coincidentally? The driver must have been like a radical leftist, or do you think this was just an accident?
People, bro, what's good?
Yeah, that's a great question. And let me just say hi to Young real quick. He got into the chat. What's up, buddy?
Yo, what's good, bro? I just finally got back from school. Like, I still have my shirt on.
That's awesome. You're like blending into the background, though. You got the same colors. You're like a floating head over there. Well, let me ask you, since you just jumped in and Marcus just proposed a question. Did you hear about this train crash incident that happened a couple days ago?
With like all the Republican senators and stuff, like Paul Ryan in there? Yeah, I heard about it.
Okay, yeah. So I think the question is, because when I heard about it, it was the terrible comments that were coming from some left-wingers. That
were disgusting.
Yeah, it got really bad. It was like they're talking about, oh, this is like deserved. This is karma. This is stuff like that. It's super messed up. What are your thoughts on that, Young?
I mean, I feel like, bro, a Democrat, Republican, if someone like gets hurt like that or something like that, and just gets slammed like that, bro, they're still human. Like, you shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah, and they say we're the fucked up party.
Sorry about that. That's my sister.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I think it's messed up to comment on, and the ones I saw were just super bad. It was like just people talking about the karma, and then they had to delete them, and then people were responding about how this was the first one I heard was a guy from CNN too. It was I don't think he hosted.
CNN is the worst. CNN is like the worst. I do not like CNN because like it doesn't. I mean, it's like, bro, it's not even parties anymore. Like, if a Democrat got hurt or something like that, like I'll be like, oh, that's kind of sad. Like I won't be like, oh man, Hillary Clinton got hurt and got her ankle twisted and now has to be paralyzed and be in a wheelchair for the rest of her life and stuff like that. I mean,
I know.
If I heard something like that, I'd be like, allow me to express my condolences, even though that this is like an opposing party, but allow me to express it.
Yeah, I know. It's just respectful. You don't need to use it as an exploit. I think that's the main trick here.
There's no need to bash anybody, even if someone that we don't support got hurt. We should still give condolences rather than use it as like some kind of advantage.
Exactly. Right. Like it's like it really shows your maturity level at this point. Like
exactly.
Yeah.
I would go through their Twitter feeds, and I guarantee you'll find two things. One, you'll find when Osama bin Laden was killed, you'll find them saying it's disgusting to celebrate the death of any human. And two, because they did the same thing with Scalia. They're like, I'm glad he's dead. And it was same people who were like, how dare you support the kill? Like, how dare you be happy somebody killed bin Laden? And then the next thing you'll find out is you'll
standards.
Yeah, if you could go further, and it's the same news organizations that when like a shooting range put up like a zombie Obama that didn't look like Obama as like a paper target, they were like outraged by that. And by the way, like don't do that to the president. But like
regardless of who he is.
But a paper target is not the same thing as an actual person being in an accident.
Yeah, when I went to Reno for shooting, the gun range said that they don't take custom targets anymore because someone brought in an Obama one and they got
Yeah, it wasn't even the shooting range, and the shooting range got bashed.
Oh, bro, that's so messed up. Because what happened when Republicans almost lost their lives in a train crash? See, I was just a Republican. I just got back from home. I was watching my Fox News, and then they came in.
Not only did the train crash into the garbage truck, part of it actually came off the track, and it could have been worse.
Yeah, and I saw some pictures of it too, where it was like there's someone was commenting, "Oh, the leftists are making fun and happy about this train crash," while the Democrats, there's pictures of the Democrats like carrying people off the site and like rescuing people, and they're like the Republicans are fucking saving lives while the left wingers are laughing about it on Twitter. It's disgusting.
It is.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Jinx.
Like
for real. How we said it at the same time.
And then
you guys should start a collab channel. You guys could start a collab channel. Dude, I swear to God, Young, you blending in with your background is killing it right now.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun for like Photoshops later. I'm gonna put him on like a bird.
It's cracking me up. But yeah. The only other thing I'll say about that train story was that, like Sean was saying, these are the same people that are kind of they'll do the Trump head picture. It's like the people that do the Trump head.
Griffin, that shit was funny.
And then they'll bash at Obama ones. Like I remember there was another Obama one where he was like hung up on something. I think some kind of like effigy, hung an effigy thing, and it's just messed up that they'll do this now and then complain about that later. It's so hypocritical.
And then these are the people that want to be president, and these are the people that said Hillary Clinton was the best candidate. Like you deserve to be slapped for that, bro.
Man, grow up. That's all I gotta say about that.
They say that like Trump standing behind Hillary Clinton was threatening and an attack and disgusting during the debate. It's like the standing debate. They made fun of Rand Paul when Rand Paul got beat up by his neighbor. Like his neighbor attacked him while he was mowing his lawn and broke his ribs. His neighbor's a Democrat, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Pop's got some cookies. Pop, show us those cookies one more time. I love Oreo cookies. Are they double stuffed?
Yeah, I love
family style. Dude, you're so rich, man. You're so rich.
Nah, I can't even eat those. I got to go to the gym tonight, so no sugar for me.
Yo, Pop. Have you considered?
I feel your pain, bro.
Supporting me? Pop, have you considered supporting me on Patreon? I'm just gonna say.
I mean, if you have like rewards for nudes, I'll take that maybe.
What
He
the
wants
world?
your nudes. He'll support you for nudes.
No, what about me? Support me on Patreon.
Yeah, Pops, support me on Patreon. No bullshit.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
even. I think I support one dude, and that's a Dark Souls YouTuber, just so I can get into his Discord.
Oh
Really?
my.
He
Yeah.
plays the
Oh, yeah.
game, Dark Souls?
He goes into the the nerdy shit like the lore, and I love Dark Souls. Great series. So
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I follow a few for Fallout 4 or Fallout in general. I follow a few Fallout
Fallout's so
channels.
good.
Yeah, I love that game. So
I've
we'll
been
get
playing New
to
Vegas a lot.
yeah. I need to get back to that one actually, but let me bounce it back to the guys. Our new guest. I got a couple questions from Marcus. Let's shoot back to Young P, Young Prodigious,
Hi.
back in the house. Welcome back to the
Yeah.
show, by the way. Did you have any questions or like topics you wanted to bring up today? Any thoughts or what's going on with you?
I mean, bro, I haven't been really uploading that much anymore because I'm trying to get focused with school. But like, I decided to come here today. I mean, there's a lot that happened. I mean, we got the Grammys that happened. We have a bunch of things that happen. I mean, like, Logic, what is wrong with you, bro? I mean, you used to be the smartest guy ever. I'm a big fan. I have your merch in my closet. And then you're like,
Yeah,
I
Logic
think he's
was
just
after the
trying to.
Grammys.
He's trying to sell that album. I don't know if he genuinely believes it. I think he's just trying to make money.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
He just like to me. If you're, and I think you're talking about Logic at the Grammys, and he had that one speech. I think he like repeats this like famous poem that's about like give us give us your downtrodden, give us your weak or whatever he says. He's talking about bringing the immigrants.
I feel like I mean that's just creep. That's just like
Be right back, guys.
You're basically saying open up our borders where you're going to make us extremely vulnerable.
open
Right,
our
for sure.
borders. ISIS, you're welcome. Al Qaeda, you're welcome in here. Oh yeah. Jose and Pablo, you were arrested for raping a bunch of people. You can't come
Mexican
right.
cartels, you are welcome to come in.
Yeah, El Chapo.
Just
Well,
behead our U.S. citizens, please.
Well, people got mad that Trump brought up MS-13 in the State of the Union, and like it's like you could say like, hey, if it was like a small street gang, then it would be weird to do. But like MS-13 is like an international gang, and a lot of their like boosts in recruitment and like attacks coincide with the El Salvadorians coming to this country. Because MS-13 is not like a Mexican gang or anything like that. It's specifically El Salvadorian.
Yeah, when I lived in Oregon, they were up there. Like it was. Oof.
Dang.
Yeah, that's so
but
scary. I've seen a bunch of things on it. Let me we'll get back to MS-13. I know you want to say something, Sean, but I got a donation from Agnes Sampsons. Thank you very much. She just sent $10 on PayPal. I just got the email. Very cool. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Agnes, I'm watching you in the chat, the regular chat. If you want to suggest a topic or, ask a question or anything, thank you again for the donation. But back to Sean. MS-13's totally messed up. Go ahead.
First of all, that's my move where we're in a live stream. I'm like, by the way, if you donate to me via PayPal, then YouTube doesn't take 30%. Just say that's my move.
Yeah, I didn't even mention it. I think she said she couldn't super chat, but PayPal works too, guys.
My longtime patron Louis Cool Dance, he did that for me, and I didn't mention it before he did it, and then after that, I was like, definitely. But yeah, MS-13 specifically coincides like their growth with those with the El Salvadorian earthquake, which Trump said that he was going to send the temporary protection status immigrants home. So like part of that is to fight MS-13.
Yeah, I mean MS-13 like it scares me every day because see, I live in Gastonia and I think MS-13 is in Charlotte somewhere, and they're always in Charlotte and doing some kind of creepy stuff. So like it's just mad crazy. Like, oh my god, it scares me every day. It's just creepy. And then like with the Grammys thing, Camila Cabello, what were you doing? Oh my god, Camila Cabello. She's like the one sexy girl from the Fifth Harmony.
Yeah,
I listen to mostly metal, so I don't know any of that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not super. I'm familiar with her because I've heard a few Fifth Harmony songs just on the radio. Pop music is my guilty pleasure. My wife always puts it on. I blame my wife, but no. There was the line.
Okay, no BS. Don't.
No, I like rock too. I'm actually a big punk rock guy from back in the day, and I like a lot of other stuff. But that's besides the point. Let's talk. What did Camila Cabella say?
She was talking about like the dreamers and like how we should let.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
what it
dreamers.
was. Yeah, I was trying to remember. I know it was in my video too, and other people talked about the Grammys. But yeah, she's talking about the dreamers and like we're all dreamers, and we should let all the dreamers in. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, if all the dreamers look like Camila Cabella, then yeah, we could let them all in. Like if they could all sing their hearts out, and
actually work. Like here's my problem with them. If you're actually paying taxes like the rest of us, and you're actually working like the rest of us to survive, maybe I will let you in. But you don't. We're paying taxes for you. Like
Young P, I totally agree with you, but I want to know, what are you paying taxes on?
Yeah, you're not paying any taxes.
you like I don't know. Do you have a job?
I mean, bro, like I'm with Freedom, okay? They're taking 40% of my cut.
No, I love it, dude. I love it. I love the sentiment. I'm just like, I hope you're not in some kind of sweatshop out in the country in North in like making shoes or something. Anyway, I hear your point.
I just got my W-2 and found out how much they held out for me, and it like looking at your taxes, it's just like, oh my god, why would you take that much money from me?
Seriously, it's a lot. And someone mentioned Sean was talking about super chats and like your taxes and stuff. Like the Google takes like 30% of super chats, and then there's like you could figure another 20% for taxes. So it's like you only get like half of that when it goes through Google.
Dang.
Holy shit.
Disturbing. And then when you have like a deal like with Scale Lab or Freedom, you losing more money.
I'm live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then shout out to the chat. A couple new people. I see Neeksey's in the house. He's an old buddy.
Yeah.
I think Marcus is talking to someone else.
Everyone in the chat, watch my videos and sub. Only got 284.3 hours of watch time for the past 12 months. I'm screwed in the ass.
Yeah, dude. We'll shout out your channel for sure.
Bot.
And Misty Spiller laughs. WJW says candy. We got Neeksey. I remember Neeksey from Twitter. Check out my new Twitter, by the way, guys. And that's the last story we'll get to towards the end. But before we go,
sexy profile picture.
Yeah, he like.
Are you talking about my Twitter?
Yeah, fresh as fuck in that suit.
Bro, you like.
I look perfect.
Oh yeah.
You guys goofing on me? Don't goof on me, guys. I'm
Oh
cool.
No, I like it.
Don't worry, Brooks. I like the photo.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's better than my
Marcus
cartoon avatar.
Marcus likes it. Marcus is a nice guy. Let me show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen. I've been practicing the screen share stuff.
At least you didn't have to pay $150 for something.
Young P got me laughing.
Young, don't laugh at me, dude. I'm cool. I want the kids to think I'm cool. What? It's not funny. It's professional.
Oh my god. Bro, you look like the next president. No bullshit. Next president.
I'll be the next president, dude. I mean, actually, that sounds like a lot of work.
Brooks.
What's up?
Next president. Instead of a blue tie, red tie.
Yeah, I know. Red tie is the power tie. Red tie is the power tie. That means you mean business. Blue tie, I go blue because I have blue eyes. Blue tie is seductive.
Yeah, so do I.
That's seduction mode. I'm wooing you guys with the blue tie.
Hopefully. The keyboard tie.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone watching, if they want to connect on Twitter, this is the new Twitter at Brooks Heatherly. We lost the official show account to a terrible story. We're not going to get into it very much, but yeah, this is a new show. It's a new launch. I'm like, screw it. I got my name out there. Everyone else knows my name. It was doxed and all that bullshit. So I'm going to go full.
If you want to know what happened,
I really like
No BS's channel. My newest video talks about Destiny and all that Twitter stuff.
Yeah. Go to Pop TV's video. I remember, I think I sent you a few archive links about it. So there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. Anyone else commenting? I think Marcus was saying something.
Yeah, I liked that well, not old. It's considered new still, but I liked it when you were still introducing yourself on the channel. Hello and welcome back to No Bullshit. Brooks here.
Yeah. Okay, you like that?
Bullshit.
Okay.
Brooks,
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Did you guys like the Brooks part?
Oh, it was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Pop liked it. Young liked it. Sean, hit me. Be honest.
No, I was going to tell you, I didn't know that whether or not Brooks was your first name or last name, because that's how how little I paid attention to that whole scenario. So I
figured that Brooks was a first name because I've known a couple Brookses that had that as their first name.
Whoa,
Yeah,
so it looks like talking about Destiny was a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it got me this opportunity. You know, I'm taking lemons and making lemonade, baby. Because I was like, I didn't really try actually on my first Twitter, like no bullshit. It was kind of just there. And I put the link out for
Thank you for
fun.
subscribing to me, Misty Spillers. Yo,
Oh, you got something to
YP
sub.
gang.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I'll be sure
Brooks, I have a question.
I'll be sure
What's
to
up?
subscribe to all of you.
Someone asked if they can mirror my video. Should I?
just tell them to leave a link.
Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
not getting paid anyway. Just tell them to leave a link back to your channel.
Might as well get it out there, you know.
Who asked for
I'm
it?
trying to watch Pop.
Click on their channel. Click on their channel. Ask who it was. Like, find out who it was.
Like, I'm actually getting notifications and stuff, and this is kind of weird.
Oh,
He's got it's T clips. He clips a bunch of like. He's got the Baked Alaska. He's got Suit Yourself mirror. He's got Destiny, Andy, Kraut.
Yeah, just ask him to leave a link to your channel.
Yeah, that's
bro,
good.
what is up with that? Like, I'm just went on Pop TV. I see this video. I hear them crickets in the back. I'm like, hey guys, it's about midnight right now. I'm like,
I couldn't get my Yeti to sync. Like, for some reason, it was like a quarter of a second off for my camera audio. So I had to take the camera audio and try to master that down, and it was a bitch.
dang, you see, this is why you get iMovie. You just plug it into a computer, give it a little bit of your semen, and it just works perfectly fine.
I don't use Mac. My desktop computer in my kitchen is a Mac, but that's just for like, when I do work for the California. That's for when I do work for the California government.
Yeah. Thanks for spoiling that. I was gonna say that's just your recipe Mac because you're rich, so you have a computer for specific functions in your house.
Well, it's because I work for California. I have to.
What? You work for the government, bro? Oh my God! Don't tell him, bro.
Dude,
I've been paying my taxes.
We're getting recorded.
I work for California's special needs department.
Somebody cut that off. Don't tell people where you work in the same video where you're right after you drop a Destiny video. Destiny looks through people's shit and doxes them.
I don't hide it. The state knows what I do. I have to tell them.
Dang.
Yeah, but that's not the state knowing what you do is not the same thing as what you call it, as some asshole Twitch streamer like sending all his like fans to call your job.
It's all right. They don't know what department. That's the specific thing.
Whatever.
It's good. Okay,
I can only help you so far.
So a few comments. We're gonna wrap things up pretty soon. We're at about an hour. Just for everyone staying tuned. I really appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate the guests and everything. We're gonna stay on for a few more minutes, but I want to let you guys know the schedule going forward. We've been kind of doing this every Friday. We haven't had a set time yet because kind of still working things out. But I think we're gonna keep doing Fridays. So if you want to stay tuned for that, make sure you subscribe here or check back on my Twitter. I usually post a link to it, but again, I switched Twitter, so I have the link to the new Twitter and all that stuff too. Blah blah blah. The other thing I was going to mention is, Fridays on this channel, and we're just going to kind of do an hour for the most part. I think we've gone longer and different stuff before, and it could vary. But besides that, if you guys got any last comments or topic suggestions, I know Moses mentioned we should talk about something else. If you want to suggest anything, Nixie says shut it down. WJW says Destiny is a turd. I agree. Brooks for president says Nixie, great stuff. Toastin is also in the house. I see Misty's laughing. Great stuff. Great room. Great fun. Any final thoughts or comments from the room? Is there any topics we didn't get to yet?
Did you see the Worski memes from last night?
I didn't. What was the stream last night? Was that the Jared Taylor one?
No, it was relationships and call-ins, and there was a good 20-minute section where Andy was talking about how he tried to suck his own cock.
Huh? Oh.
That sounds like it's prime for a highlight reel. I think I did remember that now. And there was like another part where like they were talking about relationships, and then like Mike Enoch came on at the end.
Oh my god, yeah.
It, like went really long. Like that their shows are getting pretty legit, like nightly shows. It's kind of like Tonka in the morning, Andy at night kind of thing.
Medicare retweeted my meme, and so my Twitter just blew the fuck up.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like, it's just so crazy, bro. I mean, bro, so what's your opinion on the gnome himself, Keemstar?
I think
Killer
that-
Keemstar.
Oh, that. Oh my God. He's been under my radar one time.
Yeah, Keemstar. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, he's dope. And
well-
he seems reasonable. I think he's a Democrat, but he's chill.
I think
he's actually
really wanna
Trump. I think he posts a lot of Trump stuff actually.
yeah,
Oh.
I think iDubbbz did the best video about Keemstar ever, and I think he's improved since that video. Like that video actually changed him.
Yeah.
But
That's
I don't
true.
know.
I actually
If only
like him
Rice Gum would
more.
listen.
Yeah, no, I never watched him, but yeah, no, I do like Keemstar more since that video. I think he did some positive things, but overall, I mean, just in general, like it's not a show that I watch. Like I don't think it's like the worst one either. Like I've seen some other more shady stuff or lame stuff. He seems like he covers the topics, but it's not like something I watched. Does anyone here actually watch it?
Yeah. I watch drama alert. I'm a YouTuber. I need to know what's going on.
Nice.
I watched
Yeah.
Philip DeFranco. I like quality.
Wow,
Yeah.
bro.
But like I watch Philip DeFranco for news like outside of YouTube. He does cover some YouTube stuff, but
Yeah.
like I don't care enough about like the people on YouTube to want to know shit about their personal life. Like
Yeah.
some of them I'll follow on Twitter, some of them I'll follow on Instagram or my personal Instagram, but like it's very few, and they happen to be women. But other than that, like I don't care. Like at all.
No, I agree too. I mean, I probably into it more. Like I follow it more. Like I'll kind of like see a story and I'll laugh, and sometimes it'll get juicy. Like the recent crowd drama in that server, I was kind of interested in that. I thought it was funny and pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But overall, it's like I don't care. Like it's especially like the stuff if we're talking about things that Keemstar covers, and we're talking about these like Instagram comedians, Logan Paul drama. Just like the
don't
real
even
deep.
get me started with Logan Paul.
Yeah, just the real deep stuff. I mean, I'll admit too, like I've covered a few of those things, but the closest is just like I did a Logan Paul video, a Jake Paul video, and I didn't even get into this recent trend of it or the last few weeks where it was about the trip to Japan. I almost made a video about it, but I just kind of skipped it and I had other stuff. But in general, it's like not interesting to me.
Yeah,
And
I've
Logan
got
Paul,
a
like,
thumbnail
must-
ready for Instagram comedians.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some
I mean,
fun
like,
videos. Go ahead, Young.
yeah, I mean, like with Logan Paul, I mean, I feel like I just respect the situation because I didn't make a video on it. I was so close, but I just didn't because I thought I was being respectful. Because I feel like the reason why people were making these videos is like, oh my god, we can get views. You know what I mean? And like everyone wants money on YouTube, so that's why I think everyone did it. And like also with the what about Rice? Like Rice Gum is the best YouTuber in my opinion and everything though.
Whoa.
Well, let's see.
And Philip
Besides-
DeFranco, bro. Philip
Besides besides the suicide controversy that Paul has created, another thing that I've heard about Logan Paul doing, well, I don't know if it's Jake or Logan, but one of them went to like China or Japan and
Italy.
did some
Yeah,
Really,
that was
really-
Japan with
really
Logan
racial
Paul.
stuff.
Macho
Yeah.
broken, no, yeah.
And that's the part I actually wanted to cover. I'll just kind of recap it here because the closest I got to making a Logan Paul video the last couple of weeks was like when I saw that one video. It wasn't the one with the suicide. It was like the next one where it showed other stuff he was doing in Japan and just being like really obnoxious and like disrespectful. And he would get this Nintendo Game Boy and he like smashed it in front of the store owner.
And
and it
it's
was
like
talking about-
macho broken.
I think it was an iPod,
Like-
actually, not a Nintendo thing, or
Okay,
was it a Nintendo?
Yeah, something like that. And he was going around. He's talking about how it's about respect and stuff. But more important question. I'm going to change gears, and then we're going to definitely do a full wrap up here in a minute. But do you guys think this is a fashy haircut?
It's the same haircut. It's literally.
It shows how progressive you are.
Is it fashy enough though? Like I was like, man, I kind of got it too short. Is it fashy?
I guess,
I don't mind at all. Actually,
I mean, there's not too much hairline. Cut. Yeah, there's not too much.
No, I appreciate the compliments. No, I know I am extremely handsome, but what I'm more worried about, not worried. I was like, oh, did I almost like the fashy haircut? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, basically it's like the really short sides and then the top, and then it's usually like combed over or something. I guess it's kind of like a haircut. Richard Spencer will always have, and those other guys, and then like they'll have it on Murdoch. The characters will have that like very fashy haircut.
Yeah.
All right, but are you using fashy?
I mean, I'm black. Like, I don't know.
Are you using fashy as like fashionable or fashy as in like fascisty?
Yeah,
because, there's Nazi haircuts now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it Nazi because I'm just saying I think the other name is like fashy, like fascist, fashy.
Yeah.
And
I've seen a couple of guys comb back their hair like this would be combed back with the sides being combed down like that, and people are like, "That's a Nazi cut." And I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's what I was saying, and I was just joking. But there is this idea. I'll throw it out there real quick before we go. Last call for the chat too. If you guys got any last comments.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm gonna do, I think I want to make a video called Brooks Goes Alt-Right. And I want to make a video where I just go like fully alt-right, and I'm gonna like get the fashy haircut. But I guess I kind of already have the fashy haircut. But that's what I was hoping. And then I'm gonna get like a plaid shirt like Millennial Woes has. He always has those like plaid shirts, and just do a video going full alt-right. What do you guys think?
I think that'd be pretty interesting. I'm sure it can fly under Spencer's radar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm not a fan of the alt-right, but I think just for trollery purposes, since you have people that watch your every move, then I would say that might be an idea you might want to build on.
That's where you see where I'm going. And it's okay. And let me be more clear. Since we're on the chat, and I don't think a lot of people are gonna see this before the video, but I'm gonna do it as like a joke. You know, it's like a parody almost. But in a way, I think I could also angle it, which is what I've done on a few of these videos. And like what Sean was hinting at is it's gonna like hopefully it will like trigger a few people thinking like because people have said that I'm going alt-right a bunch of times, and they're like, is he alt-right? And I just think it would be funny to do it as a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you might as well put the money where their mouths are.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Nixie. WJW says, nice haircut. Appreciate you, bro. I only get a haircut once a year, so it's going to be all downhill after this one. But,
I haven't cut my hair in so long.
No, I know. Mine was like crazy. Like if you guys on my Twitter, I showed you that Twitter pic. Like I had really big curly hair in the suit. That was just like a couple months ago, I guess. I think it was like a month ago, but I was even bigger before this haircut. Yeah. But anyway, wrapping things up.
For real,
what's up?
Hold on, before we wrap things up, like, yo, shout out to Agnes Sampson. She literally called me cute, bro. And then after that, the other girl, she called me. She was like, "What, Misty Speller?" She got me a sub.
Oh, that's yeah, I saw her.
That's awesome.
You remind me of a better-looking Chloe in the house.
Shout out to Misty too. Your comment. Feminism did help me. I lost 30 pounds, so I don't have to look like them. I love your comment.
Nice. That's a good one. Yeah, no, shout out to those people in the chat again. Misty especially has been watching the show for a while. And thank you again, Agnes, for that generous donation. Everyone else that super chatted, that was really cool. We're going to wrap things up. My only problem with the alt-right is they're socialist. WJW, nice finishing comment. Thanks everybody for watching. Special thanks to the chat. I think there's a few last comments. Sounds like Marcus is about to say something. So we'll give everyone their kind of final last word, and we'll go ahead and start with Marcus. What were you going to say, bud?
Hashtag Brooks is innocent.
Okay, nice. I like that. That's because I think you were talking about that before because I got banned off of Twitter. So maybe Brooks is innocent. Brooks didn't do nothing.
Why'd you get banned? Oh shit.
He got
I-
banned because
I
Destiny's
don't know
a
either.
piece
I
of
was
shit.
looking through Twitter and
Pass it
like,
to Pop. Pop. Or is there someone else talking to you there?
No, guys, shut the fuck up.
Bye, Misty. Bye, Nick, C, and WJW. Thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and pass it to Young P. Young P, final words and thoughts, buddy.
I mean, bro, first off, this has been an amazing live stream, bro. I mean, I like it during this time. I mean, it's pretty cool, not too late for my time. And like, bro, so like, I mean, YouTube and everything, I don't know. I mean, I think I might just go back to like rapping and everything just because. I mean, I still might make YouTube videos, but that,
Cool.
iDubbbz is outside.
Dude,
What?
he
No.
does look like iDubbbz. Pop is like a discount iDubbbz over here. Let's
I'll go for an alt-right iDubbbz. Thank you.
Okay,
That's
he's
catchy.
iDubbbz. Okay, then let's go ahead and pass it to Pop. Pop, any last words? Thanks for joining us, by the way. You tell us about your new video or something?
The whole thing with No BS losing his channel was all thanks to Destiny being basically a little faggot. And I covered it pretty thoroughly. I've got archives and stuff thanks to Brooks. So if you want to learn about it, it's on my new video.
That's awesome,
right,
dude.
so
I
bye.
appreciate you
Say bye, buddy.
looking into it too and supporting the show. Bye to the dog. Bye Eclipse. Very cool. Thanks for joining us again, Pop. And let's go ahead and pass it, ending on Sean. Sean, my bro. Thanks again for joining us. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, it was a fun stream. I mean, Pop is petting his dog. That's nice. I'm watching on the other video. It's delayed. Yeah, I have to check out Pop's video because I did submit something for that video. I hope it's there. You guys can check me out at youtube.com/theactualjustice or youtube.com/actualjusticewarrior. There's no
And
the.
me, youtube.com/c/youngprodigiousentertainment or like /youngprodigious. It's so weird.
Young Prodigious, Actual Justice Warrior, Pop TV. Marcus, do you have a channel?
Yeah, it is M Prosser.
Prosser.
I think you've seen it down in the chat.
Yeah, I've seen it in the chat and the Twitter. Everyone can find those links on there. But I think Sean was wrapping up. You were saying something else?
Yeah, I was gonna say help me get to 4,500, and it was a good stream. And if you guys want to hear about the Trump memo, which is in the title, then watch it from the beginning because we do talk about it a lot there.
Yeah, we went over the Trump memo at the beginning. Thanks again, everybody, for coming on. It was a fun show. I really appreciate the chat. Also, that we got some donations this time. We'll be back next Friday. Like I said, we're going to do this every Friday. We'll get a time to you guys. If you want to stay in touch, always check the Twitter, which is actually a new Twitter. We went over all that stuff before. But, yeah, thanks again. You guys are awesome. Toasting says good show. Really appreciate that, buddy. Mig Toast says eat less bacon. I don't know if I can do that. That's asking a little much, but I still appreciate your comment and your thoughts and your concerns for my health. This has been a great show. No bullshit. No bullshit too. My name's Brooks. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Peace
Thank you for
in the
coming.
Middle East.
Peace.